Okay, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Start with the prayer.
Steve,
Heavenly Father, we pause just for a moment just to thank you for just being our Lord and Savior. We just thank you for guiding us, and I'm asking for guidance around this room tonight to do what's right for the city. And I'd like to lift up the police department. Last week was Police Week, and we're just thankful for the dedication to protect us. All these things we pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Barth.
Here.
Bassett.
Here.
Beverly.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Ridgway.
Here.
Klepper is absent.
Next is Greg Smitley. I don't see, he was on the agenda. Maybe he'll come later, so we'll pass by that one. You have before you the minutes of our May 3rd regular council meeting for your approval. Any additions or corrections?
Make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Ridgway.
Yes.
Barth.
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Beverly.
Abstain.
You have before you the bills. Any additions or corrections?
I had a question.
Questions?
The Prawn Lean Company, the $7,000 was removed and reinstalled to.
It was a couple of rotating assemblies down at the sewer plant. They tore them down, replaced some seal plates and pillars, stuff like that. So it's actually two of them.
I have that 11,000 for Browns and Sons. Was that just all for the power for the pavilion and all that?
It was 11:30 for the pavilion, and the rest of it was for the park across under the tennis courts.
Yeah, because we bore underneath their SMTA, and that was included in that pricing, correct?
What did we do at the pavilion? Rewire it?
New lights.
Well, they put outlets throughout on post, correct, Gary Val?
Yeah, this wasn't the inside lights. That did
No,
anything.
it was just outside.
Okay, well, I want to make sure that wasn't.
But that included boring underneath the tennis court and placing the...
Yes.
Okay.
You have two lists of bills, like it was on your desk. You had a chance to look at those two?
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions?
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Beverly.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Ridgway.
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Barth.
Abstain.
Okay, as far as boards and commissions, we have some minutes.
Yeah, the park board. The park board was for tonight on the table. I'm sorry.
HIX-TV.
Yeah, HIX-TV, so that's, let's see, I didn't see, okay, so anybody got any questions on the minutes, HIX-TV? You just got those tonight, so if you need a chance to look at it.
Well, as much as I don't. Yeah, well, the part where it talked about MediaCom SMTA update, MediaCom told me they don't need antennas on that tower. They can put everything in their building, so I'm not so sure you're going to lose any service with them. But there again, they didn't come to that meeting we invited them to. And so I guess if HIX-TV's got contact with them, they might want to be thinking if that building's in the way when the tower comes down.
Okay.
Because we've got concerns about that. So they might want to show up to the next meeting, whenever that is. But Mike Dickerson's one that told me he doesn't think
Council
they need.
Representative.
Right, well, that's why I had addressed it with
We hadn't heard anything one way or the other, which is why it's not reflected in.
Since they're not using it?
Yeah.
And
They're nice.
We've been trying to get a hold of them and getting somebody to contact us from MediaCom just to say, I know Mike's been trying to get a hold of them too,
Okay.
so.
Otherwise, I don't know what all they talk about.
They still have antennas up there, don't they?
Yeah,
They
but
don't
he said when it comes time to take down, they're not going. he said they won't worry about it because they can move everything in that building.
And really for the cable TV board, the concern isn't so much about whether or not they have stuff on the tower or whatever. They're concerned about the revenue loss they're going to have when there's no longer a tower there and we don't get the tower rental fees. So
Yeah, I just thought they used the tower for local channels.
They'll have to explain that one, but I know that's what he told me in person.
But we still want to, we think we still need to meet with them, and even if they don't need antenna or use a tower or whatever, but that building is right in the way. When that water tower comes down, we don't want to take responsibility. I know the contractor has no responsibility for that building.
Face to face with
He needs to
an
come over and talk to us, so. Yeah.
Okay. Need any other discussion on that meeting ahead? Okay, council committee reports. You've got the water and sewer committee minutes on May the 5th. Any discussion, questions?
Pretty self-explanatory. Anybody have any questions? We are going to meet again, I think, Monday evening, May 24th. Discuss a couple other projects that are in the works here a little bit closer. I gotta get with Taylor, though he's not here tonight, but like I said, we keep plugging along with the different construction projects in town. Some new ones on the works and for down the road, so.
You want to mention back row, just to keep it in the public?
Yeah, we're going to meet about that. I talked to Troy about that before the meeting. Haver Drive, we're still addressing the back row swell on Haver Drive. We've asked people to remove their non-permanent structures. We're looking at if there can be a variance and stuff for the permanent structures that are in place. But fences, gardens, things of that nature need to be moved off the easements back there. So we can keep moving with the swell, the back row swell, and also when we sell the property, we know the boundaries and where they need to be placed. It's also a utility easement through there also. So we're going to keep that moving forward, and I'll get with Troy, and then Mike, I believe Mike Bailey's working on that too with the residents and moving forward, so.
He's waiting to hear from you guys.
I don't know,
Yeah.
So-
At our May 4th meeting, can we put a...
May 24th.
Put a, yeah, May 24th.
Yeah.
We can bring this kind of to an end?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about, the Industrial Drive project and Hayward Drive project, those two factors.
So as long as that LeBar Drive keep moving, I want to get that.
Right. I know you do.
I actually had a call today, wanted to know what's going to go up for bid, a developer, so
I think
if there's people watching, I want to keep it moving.
Okay. That's what I told Mike before we started. I drove down through there, and not much progress.
No.
And we need to
Yeah.
push hard to get...
But can we put that up, start the auction or the bidding process? Can we start that before we get all that done?
I don't think so.
I mean, you could start the process, I wouldn't have the auction before you.
No, but how long
You
will the
could start
process take?
Whatever the planning and how it's going to be advertised and
Is that going to take a couple months?
probably,
So we need, I think,
we need to get to a final deadlines and everything
Right.
finalized Monday night, and then put it to
And make
put it to
sure
use.
that our surveyor guy is
Right.
got his
Right, I
part
think
done.
you've been
Right.
talking to Tom on that.
Have you talked to him or anybody?
I just sent in, not since he asked for a quote description of what I wanted it to say regarding the easement, which was, that's a few meetings ago by now.
Right.
And I sent it to, I think it was Kent, who passed it along to him, but other than that, I have not.
I'm like Ron, we gotta keep it moving.
yes. A little interest, and I like that. That's a good sign, so.
Yes.
Any other committee reports?
Yes, police, fire, and EMS had 2 meetings. One at 3:30, and President was Scott Kramer, Mark Denning, Eric Bassett, Larry Ridgway, Mike Barth, and the mayor. Scott brought up about personnel issues with EMS briefly. I'd have it typed up, but it won't be here till next meeting. So anyway, then Chief Denning talked about the replacement for Officer Taylor. He can explain more later when we talk. Then at 4:30, I want to thank the mayor for getting everybody together with the Sheriff's Department, the Commissioners, and Emergency Management. We met at the fire station, talked about the MARC radio systems, and we all come to the conclusion that there is an issue in Hicksville, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to meet at 27th at 10 a.m., and reps from Motorola and MARC radio systems are going to meet with us and set up a temporary tower if we have a 50 amp hookup. So hopefully.
In a secure site.
Yes, and hopefully if this goes well, they can find out the issues and go from there. Anybody else can add to it?
Yeah, that's good. Things are moving on that.
You get all that, Cheryl? You want my notes? You wouldn't read them anyhow.
Is that it? Any questions for Larry? Okay. I just talked to Charlie a little bit ago. I like the ordinance committee to look at. When somebody done mow their yard, we go in and only charge $75 the first hour, and then $50 after that. So I want the committee to look at that, see about raising that. I think it was about 3 years ago is when it was set. He's got the ordinance, so he'll call committee meeting to discuss that, and not trying to make money, but at least
I got a
break
question.
even. Yeah,
Why wouldn't they just charge a flat hourly rate? Why does it go less?
good. They can change that.
You know what I mean? Why is the second hour cheaper than the first hour?
We were doing that on one particular property, and, I mean, it was so cheap that the people were fools to not have us mow it. And we want to get it priced out so that they don't want us to mow it.
Yeah. Troy said.
Right, but I'm just wondering, why don't we just keep it the same hourly rate?
Oh,
Leave it
You
up
know,
everyone, 7.
why does it get cheaper instead of,
I didn't know it did.
Takes more effort the first hour than it does in the coming hours. I don't know.
Got to find all them stuff,
Yeah.
find them tree stumps and everything, little kids' bicycles and stuff.
So, just whenever you get a chance, Charlie, look at that. And then the safe route to schools, sidewalk committee, any discussion on that, if we're going to pursue that?
Well, it comes down to your call. Do you want to? There's a lot of paperwork, and we've got to also, and I was going to catch you, but I didn't today, and see, somebody has to go talk to Countryman and see if he wants to play. Because if the school doesn't want to play, we can't do it.
I don't think that's right. Kent, you sent an email out, the original.
I'm right.
School's gonna have to.
Yeah, the schools has to fill out most of the paperwork for that kind of stuff,
Okay.
because they want to know how many kids are actually walking.
Preliminary stuff.
They got to fill out the majority of the paperwork for it. If you don't have the school's backing, you're not going to get the sidewalk put in.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
They're not doing it for you and I walking out here.
Have you heard anything?
No, we talked about it months ago, about sidewalks and about going on that north side, but it was, if there's grant money available. We also talked about putting a flashing light of some sort, like a crosswalk towards the hospital, so kids could cross over to where the sidewalk is, and it was all dealt with safe routes to school, and you had to have the school participate and fill out the majority of the paperwork, and that's the last stuff I've heard of.
I can contact the superintendent.
Okay, that'd be fine. And if you can get with him and then get back with, I guess I'm the chair on that, get back with me and let me know, and if he's willing to go, we'll go for it.
I was thinking the school had to pay, was it $7,500, Kent?
The first go-around, since the school actually arranged everything, they paid DGL's initial fee, which is what I got that contract for that I passed on to you guys.
But then we paid the other bulk of.
Well, yeah, the school wouldn't have had to pay any of that, and I'm not saying they have to pay the $7,000 initial fee either, if we're the ones interested in kickstarting it.
So I'll get with them, see if they're on board, and if they're not, we're not going to go that way. Okay, I'll make a contact this week.
So I can let Lori know here, on the proposal she's got, she's been waiting.
And while we're on that, are anybody sitting around this table really interested in a municipal building? The girl that I talked with doesn't want to go through this if we're just going to go, we'll wait. But there's money out there.
What girl is that? Who are you talking to?
Roberta.
Free money or loans?
Well, she's got to know what we're thinking first.
I think we were kind of hoping she'd give us a ballpark idea before we can say that we're really interested or not. It all depends on what kind of money is available too. Is it just for
Right.
the design and prints and stuff, or is it for the loan, or is it interest free?
Well, and she's being a busy person, she doesn't want to spend a lot of time finding that out until
I think you know about how many square feet we need, but how many fire
I
trucks
was trying to
we
find
have.
out how much per square foot
Yeah, exactly.
basically costing, and then we would have a general idea of how big
You add
we're
up,
gonna
you
go.
add up all the buildings together, and you need this big of a fire hall, this big of a police department, municipal building, maintenance building.
Gotta have a hunk of land before it get too far along.
We're gonna put this in your backyard, so you'll always remember the village.
If you can fit it in my backyard, you can
It's
have
gonna
it.
be multiple story, but we're gonna make it 10
It has to
stories.
be multiple
Other
stories.
than Hayward Drive, or Lamar.
But yeah, I don't know if I'd have her do a whole lot of work till you got a chunk of land somewhere to even put it.
Well, she's not gonna either. She wants to know that we're ready. And I'm the same way. I don't.
Busy.
My life's gonna be too short here. I don't wanna spend a lot of time and then everybody says, nah.
So what's the thoughts?
She wouldn't give you a cost per square foot?
Yeah.
No.
My thought is, if we can get the money, it'd be nice to do. Instead of
So you
maintenance
mean
on 3
the money
buildings.
like the full thing or just low interest? Almost had to levy up, right?
Yeah, you still got some $1 million projects coming up next
I know.
couple of years. in the-
Yeah, that's the sad part. Yeah.
Sad, that's positive, that's broken.
So you're thinking, Ron, 5 years down the road or 10 or not the next couple of years?
Well, and there again, the dollar sign is gonna say how many years down the road we're thinking. If and I know it's not gonna happen, but if she, well, you can do it all for $1 million and we can get you $1 million, then I'd say full speed ahead.
Okay.
But if it's multi-millions and nothing but maybe preferred interest rate, then we need to back it up and put some years on it. Let me talk to her again.
My thought is, if you had the committee to come, streetlight property, whoever, come together and say, okay, which entities would you house in a building? What location, kind of thing, which would be the best location for it? Kind of set up a preliminary foundation on what you can present Roberta and say, okay, let's talk about cost, but we still need to decide where and what you're going to have inside that building. To me, that sounded, I guess, something that would be more sustainable, and then Roberta can come. I called Roberta today and asked her to maybe take a look at our rate study because of all the projects we have coming up. And we've had other kind of move around situational-wise, with the well field and the water tower and things of that nature. So she's actually supposed to call me back tomorrow and set up a time. But we've got all these different buildings, we've got all these different departments in different places in town, but if you decide you're going to have the police there, the administration, the mayor.
Well, I think we're pretty much planning on everybody except the fire.
One.
And if between now and the time that I went to build a building, some company said we want to buy your fire hall, then we'll move them all into one spot.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go hold my breath on that one. But,
Get a little more info and
okay,
I guess it's not a no,
okay.
right?
No,
Nobody's against it.
I like the idea. I was just
I'll ask the
kinda-
architects that are
Okay.
doing if they can kind of give a price per square foot to kind of see, we'll have to figure out how many square feet we need for the building, for construction cost.
Probably, I don't know who Alexander Bebop's got down here, but one of those, that superintendent that's usually down here could tell you.
Yeah, I know. I'll find out.
Okay, thanks, Art.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? Administrator's report, is that next? Got a little sidetracked there.
Yeah, just passing along, just telling it to the Water Sewer Committee. We do need to do an archaeological study out on the 60 Haver acres, former Haver acres. So we need to plow it up. I had Corey make some phone calls today. I didn't know there were so many different ways of plowing up something, but anyway. So once we know what firm's doing the actual survey work, whatever, then we'll pay to have the field plowed up. It sounds like unless they find something super super historically whatever, you should be okay. So hold your fingers, they don't find.
Indian Burial Ground.
Well, cemeteries is one of the triggers, or what else do you say, like an ancient civilization village buried under there. So anyway, as it gets adding time to getting our grant.
Somebody's ex-wife.
What kind of plowing are they talking?
Well, he said plow it up. Well, he called a farmer, well, do you want it plowed this way, that way?
Chisel plow it under, or?
Well, that's,
Just tell me you're just gonna go no-till.
Yeah, we do no-till around here, though.
so Maumee Valley's supposed to be getting quotes from vendors on the cost to do this study. Once we know it's company A, well then, we can call them and find out, hey, how do you want this plowed? Just there you go, plow it, but what do I know? And hope they don't find anything out there.
Okay. Anything else?
Otherwise, if you got questions, I'll try to answer whatever. Figure on the sewer plant next Thursday, chief. I'll double check with Jeff tomorrow to make sure that there's a hookup. I'll let you know if he doesn't think it'll work.
Okay. Anything else, Kent? Any questions for Kent?
I in Chicago done then?
Should be, as far as the paving, they're gonna have a lot of restoration work yet, but I don't know if they'll wait and do that when they do the next step or not. I know we still need to have a walkthrough at some point for some issues along there, but for the moment, yeah, it's opened up for traffic.
That's good news.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I got a couple of calls why the barricades aren't down, saying that to indicate the road's open. And I think that it's, leave the road closed signs up, people are still using the road, but it kind of takes away the liability for the contractor and probably the village too, because, you know, some of the restoration work's not done, some of those catch basins, you know, there's that far to get to them, somebody drops a wheel in there or something, well, you're still on a closed road. So,
I can check with Nick on that, but, you know, if he needs to leave them up for his, we pulled our type 3 barricades already, so anything that's out's just ODOT and Nick's. But I'll check with him.
Any news on the railroad tracks?
30 days.
30 days.
Is that railroad days or?
Yeah. No, I haven't talked to anybody down there for a couple of weeks.
Haven't been down there in a while.
They was down there today working, I saw.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
The other train.
they set that last
there
gray
today.
piece in there today, I watched them do it.
So, yeah.
Okay, we want to welcome Corey here, first day on the job, so,
Your reporter?
yeah, you got to report.
Yeah,
My assistant gave it.
That's good.
well, you're learning quick.
Okay,
There's Kent been schooled, there's a plan in place and for these two guys?
I just
Personnel,
gave it
committee's
personnel.
gotta be
Go look
meeting.
into it,
You the man.
sooner than later.
Yes.
Get a plan. Any other questions for administrators? Okay, moving on to solicitors report.
Resolution 2021-07, which is a second reading by caption only, a resolution of the Village of Hicksville, Ohio, authorizing the sale of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit village personal property, including by internet auction for the calendar year 2021. It's not an emergency, but if somebody wanted to suspend the rules, probably.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second,
I'll second.
roll call.
Barth,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Beverly,
Yes.
Ridgway,
Yes.
Martin.
So third reading of Resolution 2021-07, resolution of the Village of Hicksville, Ohio, authorizing the sale of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit village personal property, including by internet auction for the calendar year 2021.
It's a move.
Second,
Yep.
roll call.
The second.
Ron?
Beverly,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Ridgway,
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Barth.
Yes.
I guess the only other thing I'll comment on at the back of your packet there, we got a notice about a liquor permit that's been requested to be for Lapita's over here. It's D1, D2, D3, which if you don't know what that is, that's basically beer, wine, and liquor to the maximum of 1 o'clock a.m. I don't think she's open that late, but it's this is the standard permit for serving in the restaurant, and then beer and wine they can sell carry out in a closed container. It's just kind of the standard permit. We do need to return that, even if we don't request a hearing or whatever. We just need to return it so that they know that we got it.
Didn't there have to be an opening for her to get that transfer?
Yeah, usually the way that works, those are quota-based on population, and so if there's not one available, there is a procedure you can follow, even if you don't, but it's very expensive, and most people don't want to take it on. So my guess is there must have been one that was available that she applied for and met all of their requirements, it would seem. And so they'll just issue it, and then, she'll just have to pay. She didn't buy it or anything. It was an actual open permit. She'll have to pay whatever the permit fees are. And every year we'll get part of our renewals.
So we don't vote on it, it's just a public notice, is that?
Well, what I would say is unless somebody has a problem, I mean, if somebody had a problem with it being issued, then we could take a vote and then you could request a hearing. I mean, in small towns, my guess is you would only do that if there was somebody who had been a problem before, had a license and they had a eyesore or a place where there was a bunch of trouble and fights, and now they're applying for a new one. You might say, hey, wait a minute, this didn't work out the first time. But on something like this, I mean, I can't speak for you guys, but all you're doing is encouraging your business.
Every year anyhow.
Yeah, I mean, you get the right when they come up for renewal if there's a problem there. Like I say, small towns typically don't do anything, but if you follow the news in like Toledo or any place like that, every year when they come up there, there'll be 4 or 5 of them where there's been a bunch of shootings or something, and they'll object to them and go have a hearing in Columbus on whether or not it should be renewed. So if it did turn out really bad, you do have a alternative only a year away.
And they have to apply, they have to clear a background check too.
Right.
So that means they have to be fingerprinted.
So they're already past that part. They're at the point it's going to be issued, and they just want to know if, make sure we're not objecting to it.
Any objection? Nope. Okay, move on, I guess, on that.
That's all I have.
Any questions for our solicitor? Okay, I've heard a little bit about the land out Industrial Park, Haynes Trucking.
Yeah, we're working on, we got to finalize that deed, whatever the problem was with it. I've talked to, God, I just lost her name. Erica, and she got me the information that I need last week so that I can finalize that, so we should be...
We don't have to go through the CIC to transfer it?
We do, but I needed to get, because they previously had approved it in a resolution. That's what she got to me. She had to go through Jerry's old records and get a copy of that, so that now...
So that's moving along.
That is.
Good.
Yep, so we should be pretty close to having that done.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, department heads. Chief? First, honor your policeman. I brought donuts, but it was last week. So anyway, thanks for your dedication. But keeping us safe. Tell them thanks.
Thank you. First item I have is I have an officer that is leaving us. His last day will be the 20th this week. He is taking a job with another county office in Defiance with adult probation. And I don't blame him for wanting to leave for what they're offering him to come to. It was actually a position that he had applied for before we even hired him here full-time. And it was just kind of out of the blue that they have a spot that opened up. I wanted to know if he was still interested. So Officer Chris Taylor is leaving us. That's why we had the Police and Fire Committee meeting about hiring somebody. So, gave them some thoughts that I wanted to do, to let them think about. And then I'll get back with them when I come back. And we'll go that route. So.
He's going to stay on part-time, right?
Yes, he's going to stay.
So that's...
He's just going to go back to part-time.
Yeah, and I talked to him about an hour this week, and everything's good. It's a good exit interview.
So, Larry discussed what we did tonight as far as the Marks radio system. Car 30, which is the white SUV. I know I discussed earlier, I don't remember when we did it, it might have been around budget time, we discussed the catalytic converter issue, whether to replace or not, and what the cost was. Well, we got lucky, because I took it in last week to the Ford dealership, and there happened to be a recall.
Oh, wow.
But the bad news is, it didn't fix the issue that we were told. So, that issue to fix is $2,100. Has something to do with the transfer case, which I checked into because we had replaced that transmission back in January 2020, which does not have to do with the transmission, so it won't be covered under anything. So it's $2,100 for that, and then I believe they told me it was the lower and upper ball joints are going out of it. So I talked to Cheryl about, we're looking at $3,000 probably to fix it. I talked to Cheryl about it this evening. She's given me the okay. We also discussed options if the money is not there. There's a couple things I can do that was in my budget that I can alleviate and go till next year. Okay. So she's going to look into all that. We had some COVID money left, so we are equipping the cars so that they're all the same with the 2 new ones. The radar units, the 2 laptops, a rifle, 2 rifles. Shotguns are on hold right now because we can't get what we need. So we're trying to come up with another solution for that right now. And the equipment that goes onto the rifles. She's got your figures, what that is. And we had, for the month of April, our calls for service was 308 calls for service for the month of April. So that looks like all I've got right now.
Any questions for the chief?
So depending on what Cheryl says, you are going to fix the white one?
Yes. So,
What year is that? 20?
2015.
15.
Okay, any other questions? Nope. Okay, thanks.
Just something I just thought of.
If you think of something, just get my attention, and I'll let you come back up.
So, all right.
Thanks, Chief.
Scott?
I don't have much. I just like to thank our EMTs this week's EMS week.
Oh, I missed it. Same week as the police?
So what do you buy them?
This week, okay.
Please.
Police was last week.
Well,
EMS is this week.
okay,
So is that donuts or bagels?
That's bagels.
Bagels?
which is cheaper? Okay, tell them
I
thanks.
don't have anything unless somebody has questions for me.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, Park Director,
All I have to say is we're gonna open the pool on
February, yeah.
One day.
June 4th,
June 4th.
if everything goes right.
Okay. We got a new park member, right? Park board member, did you know about that?
Yeah.
It's Mike Altman. The school selects, that's their, they have 2, and we do 3, but, so, I talked to Superintendent Countryman this week, and that's who they selected, so he wanted to know when it's going to be the next meeting.
Yeah, I got a hold of him.
Okay, good. Any other questions?
Get hold of me after the meeting for something different.
Okay, Cheryl, fiscal officer report?
You have the fund status report, which we're still over 6, which is my magic number, and the fund summary. I also have Julie's police report, mayor's court collections, And then I had the request for a liquor license that Troy told you about. I'll send that in tomorrow.
Any questions for Cheryl? Okay, in my report, zoning board of appeals appointee for council for your approval, I'm going to nominate Matthew Bennett to take. He's been at several council meetings, shown an interest. Also, you're joining the Historical Society, right? You're going to the meetings. We got one this week, I think, or next week. So he contacted me after the last meeting, and so I'm going to recommend Matthew.
Do we have to prove that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the...
You got a question?
What's he gonna do?
Okay, it's zoning board of appeals. I'm trying to think who dropped, her rep.
This is the one board.
Oh, the board, okay.
Yeah, board member. Yeah, board member. Her rep stepped down last week, so
I make a motion to accept the mayor's...
second.
Second.
Roll call.
Beverly?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Barth?
Yes.
Ridgway?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Okay, tomorrow at the Huber, there's going to be a COVID-19 walk-in vaccine clinic between 4 and 6. Just walk in. Of course, it's free. It's the Johnson & Johnson. Again, I recommend encourage everybody to get the shot. Things are looking good. June 2nd, the governor's supposedly going to lift mandates on the mask, and so anyway,
6, you say?
tomorrow at the Huber between 4 and 6. So tell your friends, your neighbors, family.
No.
Yeah. So I've been in contact with them, and I said, try having a clinic here. At the beginning, we didn't. They were all in defiance, so they're going to come over. The last thing I have is I want to honor the 2021 Hicksville graduates, which is May 30th, so we don't have our next meeting for 3 weeks. So I just want to congratulate them. I think that's all I have.
Well, we should thank the sheriff and the county commissioner for showing up for our meeting. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I want to thank them.
It was the 9/11 board. They all showed up.
Yes. That was really nice of them to show up.
Yes.
To me, it was productive. And then after that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Right announcement.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I want an executive.
Who do a second? This Friday night, American Legion, they're having the euchre fundraiser. Doors open at 6:30. I think it starts at 7. It's all for fun. It's money for the Legion, Rotary. We're kind of working together to play some cards, talk.
But your goal is for handicap accessible to...
I think that's what, yeah, they want to get that. They want to get working on that project down there. But yeah, if you play turn-up euchre, like I said, call Denise Sutter at Alliance Tax Service if you want to pre-register. If not, you can come to the door that night and pay. I think it's $10 a person. We got some door prizes, some food, drinks, pretty laid back and just have some fun. But wanted to make that plug for the Legion and Rotary, and come on out and have some fun.
Is there timing on that?
What? You kind of play individual, and you just kind of move around tables. You kind of keep track of your own score.
Right. I didn't know if they had a time limit on it.
I think it's from 7 to 9. We'll be done by 2 in the morning.
No, he means they play where it's time, like you've only got 5 minutes to play the game.
Oh, yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I'm just going to play.
But sometimes those take a little while.
They do. I don't think they want to drag it out too long, so I think
that's why
everybody's going to play a couple hands and move.
Get them people that just can't make a decision. I got both jacks, the ace, the king, and the queen. What do I lead?
Play alone.
How can I make a motion, Jerry?
Yeah, second.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Barth?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes, ma'am.
Ridgway?
Certainly.
Merton?
Yes.
Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.